so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
And they're working inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with them in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety?
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They run. Abdullah into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope. The good things are in store here today for him.
And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. The 30, 20.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line.
And now it's blocked. And all the defense has it. He's got daylight. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he dives into the end zone and gets the 2 points. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. A beautiful fake. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. All right, CD, let's take a quick look back at what Detroit did last year. Matt Patricia's first season, they go 6-10. And prior to that, they were 9-7 in the final year of Jim Caldwell. So, look, there was some early excitement with Matt Patricia, but the bottom line is it's another year without a playoff win, and this year not even a playoff appearance.
Yeah, they have had one playoff win since the championship game of 1957, the NFL championship game. So that's hard to believe with a franchise like the Detroit Lions. At one point, they were NFL royalty. So looking forward, Matt Patricia reshaping the team in his image, trying to get better, obviously, on defense, which is his specialty. But they fortified the offensive line last year. I think they'll keep going in that direction and become much more of a running team than they have been with Matthew Stafford leading them.
Throwing on third down, Stafford escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Taken in at the 20. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, 30 yards. And the Lions are in for 6. A sensational one-handed grab of the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
You're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Under center, it will be the 6'3" quarterback from Alabama, A.J. McCarron.
I like A.J. McCarron. Ever since he came out of Alabama, a lot of people wanted to call him cocky. He's extremely confident in his abilities. And a lot of people want to call him a game manager, like it's a negative. This guy can actually win games with his arm. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see what he does in Buffalo.
Here we go now.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They fake the give. Now McCarron gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years?
And McCoy loses the football. And the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they argue.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They go play action here on first down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Here's Stafford now on second down. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. To return, it's Caleb. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change the momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Let's go. Hey, 22.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half 3-0 New England? Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, a 3rd team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the second straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year? Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Buffalo's offense coming back out here. This is a team that regressed a bit this season to 6-10, 9-7 in a playoff team a year ago. But, and you talked about this earlier, they do seem to have their quarterback of the future in Josh Allen.
They certainly do. Their goal now is to get a better offensive line to protect him. Took too many hits, had to run for his life way too many times. The defense, though, that was a revelation, although it probably shouldn't be since their head coach is a former defensive coordinator in Sean McDermott. The number 2 ranked defense in the NFL. There are things to build off of for the Buffalo Bills moving forward.
All right, here we go.
McCarron to throw on second down. Left side here, caught by Clay. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. Looking sideline, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
Gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. This is taken around the 12. Spinning away. And now running right through it. Very good return that time. 18 yards. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford looking downfield for Jones. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. On the return, Clay. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
McCarron. It's complete to Jeremy Curley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Watch him now, Barney. Here we go now.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll go again to McCoy. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This give is to McCoy. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Lions have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that's incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defense is talking about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That could be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. McCarron will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Jones coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Lions will take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. Partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. He's out of that quick slant.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. McCarron will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st down, McCarron. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Now let's go.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and now it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what...
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. Oh, now he bowls him over.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now a carry for Blunt. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Stafford. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB...
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Matt Milano in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
McCarron will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A little too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
3-19. 3-19.
Now here's McCarron on 3rd. It's caught. Jones. 30. 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. The 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, 47 yards. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now, before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Fielded at the 33. Still moving. Another nice move. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
22. Set. Lady.
Throwing here. Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot. Couldn't connect. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Stafford. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22. McCarron now on 1st down. This complete to the tight end Clay. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. McCarron on 1st down. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Clay, the intended receiver, facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Stafford going to throw it. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings.
Exactly. They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up. Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.